Hello, my beautiful being of love and light, and welcome back to Ascend Feminine channel. My name is Nikki, and I create videos that help you allow your higher self so you can live in a state of joy, bliss, unconditional love, and peace. In this video, I'm gonna share what has been happening in the past 2 weeks of my process, of my allowance, of enlightenment, of self-realization. For those of you who have been following me for a while know that I made videos every week, and I just been MIA for 2 weeks and a half. I felt this strong calling to just opt out of the matrix and spend some time in silence, peaceful bliss, just anchoring more light, balancing love and wisdom. If you haven't seen the last video I put out, I talked about that and how that relates to the Law of One teachings of the densities of consciousness. I'm going to link the video up there, and I'll be making also a board explanation of the different densities, 4th density, 5th density, 6th density, so you can better understand what I'm expressing. If not, you can read the Law of One books, which is amazing material. And yes, so I was more in the 5th density, anchoring a lot more light, just being in peaceful bliss. If not even words, I'm feeling it right now. I've been in these high orgasmic states for over a year now, and it was a really pleasurable, ecstatic state of beingness that allowed me to be of service and make videos and share my expression with so much joy. And I thought that it was the best. But always when you allow, me, all allow a higher state, there's always a next step of expansion. And it was time for me to balance that exquisite pleasure and orgasmic energy into a more peaceful state. So I just felt really inclined to stay quiet, and that's what I've been doing for 2 weeks. That and reading Ramana Maharshi. I have never been interested in those teachings, but as a saying, really cliche, but I relate right now. Whenever the student's ready, the teacher appears. And now it felt like I was just so pulled to his teachings and spent days, hours just reading and reading and reading. And I was like, wow, this is exactly what feels relevant at the moment. And I could see myself, I mean the small self, the ego, how the distortions were coming to surface. Because at a 4th density or 5th density being, there's still some ego. Full ego is fully relinquished when it's a balance, 6th density, which is what I'm anchoring now, that balance of love and wisdom. And I can also relate to the teachings of David R. Hawkins. He has a scale of consciousness, which I'm going to put there and link the video I have that I made about him and his teachings. And he says that unconditional love and ecstasy, which is what I was experiencing, calibrates at the 580s. But blissful peace, it's the 600s, which is the first glimpse of self-realization, the first glimpse of enlightenment. And I desired that. I've always had this strong desire in this lifetime that I was going to allow enlightenment and share my experience along the way. It's just this strong devotion. Like, I cannot do anything else. I'm just pulling to that direction. It's like if I wish to do something else, no, you're back here. So it was time for me to balance that ecstasy orgasmic state into a more blissful, peaceful, wise state. And I wasn't ready to relinquish it in the past months, but suddenly, after a catalyst that I may share in my next video, not this one, I was like, okay, I'm ready. And those 2 weeks have been so nourishing, so uplifting, so fulfilling. It's like being in this bubble of bliss and connected to the God self, God consciousness, my oversoul. I had conversations. I script it in my computer or I write it down. It's like God self, that's my highest self, my oversoul, current self, and my baby self, which is my cute self. And I have a conversation with the three of them. And I was talking to my God self, beyond enlightenment, beyond all that is, beyond the eighth density, and anchoring a lot of that information, the lessons that I had learned, what I was embodying at the moment, how my service was going to be more relevant if I stopped doing sessions. I'll still check the applications and take sessions if it's really relevant. But for the moment, the message I received, two messages. The first one was, release everything. For 2 days, I was certain that I didn't want to make more videos. I didn't want to teach. I just wanted to surrender all and be one with the oneness. And I was like, take me, void. I'm ready for getting merged into this black hole and be in the eighth density and just... And then I was like, nope, come back. And then desire to teach came again. So I guess I'm here. It's so delicious and blissful that it's like you don't want to hang out, you don't want to eat, you don't want to see friends, you don't want to play, work, because you are everything in that moment. And I'm like, I just need to anchor more of this. And yes, that was one of the messages, like that pull to exit Earth. But maybe I was tapping into a future timeline because I know that's going to come eventually. But what's relevant now, the second message was that my energy was going to be a better use. By I mean the energy of the field, because nothing's mine. I'm just the vessel. If I just stop the sessions and do more videos in a larger scale and just talk when it's relevant and when there's a question that's been asked. And every time I talk, just ask my current self, who is speaking? What's the intention behind this? So I know that the message that it's being shared is for the highest good of all, and not just because I want to talk, right? So it's a really beautiful balance of that unconditional love and that wisdom. I'm still taking emails though, so if you write me in my website, I may reply to you on an email. And I'm also having a lot of fun answering DMs, and I'm posting those answers, Q&As on my Instagram stories. Because when I'm just in this Buddha state, the peace, meditating, sometimes I get curious and I come back down and I check my Instagram. So if you wish to ask me a question or talk to me or connect, I would love to hear from you. And yes, so that's the update. More peace, more bliss, more balance. There's still a lot of love for all, you, me, all. But there's a calling to be more efficient with the energy that's been put out, and also more time for me to be in silence. And yes, I think there's nothing else to say for now. Do a small silence transmission, allowing the light, allowing the love, allowing the knowingness that you are this unity consciousness, that you are this light, that you are the highest form of expression of truth, of love, of joy, that any experience, catalyst that you go through is just an opportunity for more heart expansion, for more wisdom, for more allowance of light. That wherever you are in your scene of your life movie, it's completely perfect, divine, and relevant for you at that moment. And that if you have the desire and devotion to allow more light, to allow more love, to be in this blissful, orgasmic, peaceful state of beingness, it's possible for you. Allowing more of this for you, for me, for all. Sharing the truth, sharing my truth, sharing what's relevant, channeling highest self, anchoring more love, anchoring more light, anchoring more peace, merging with the light of the one infinite, seeing through the veil, seeing through the void, and knowing that whatever you wish to be and allow in this now moment, you can be you can have, you can do. There are no distortions, there are no illusions. There's just light and there's just love. Beautiful. Side note, now back to more of my baby self. I also been able to have this really cool new power, or I call it city, in which I see geometric patterns, and then I look at the sky and my window, and not my window, my balcony and the city, and I can see the buildings just swirling into these geometric patterns. It's like being naturally in LSD but sober. So I thought that was so cool. And for 2 days I was just looking at these fractal patterns and I was like, wow. And then I looked at my share or my balcony and like the whole hologram is moving. And it's more realization of, this is actually a hologram. This is not real. It's just an illusion. It's just a veil. I could see more through the veil. And what I integrated from that was that the closer you are to God consciousness, the closer you are to the light, and the less distortions you have in your consciousness, the more you can be in these states of seeing the beauty of everything and merging with everything. It's like I saw the fractal and I merged with the fractal. And then I saw the balcony and I merged with the buildings, and then everything started swirling. It was so amazingly fun for the baby self, and also peaceful and full of bliss for higher self. So yeah, that's the side note to make it more fun. Thank you so much for your presence. Send you so much love, so much light, and I'll see you in my next inspiration.